Hello. Happy Friday again, everybody. Okay, so it is a family Friday for me. I hope you are enjoying your time with your family this Friday. Today, I have my cousin coming on from Trinidad. So, Keisha is a hairdresser, as I touch my hair. But, like I like to say, more than the titles that I give my guests, there's so much more than that. But I asked her to come on because it's so funny. We don't really talk that often, but when we do, it's like we know each other. And so the other day when I asked her to come on and share some of her experience with me, because I see her growing her business and I see her pushing herself out there and I see her trying to be more than where she is. A lot of people, well, my brother always says it's a third world country. And the struggle is different. I know that in my country than it is here in America. Okay, yay, you're there. All right, just hold on a second, Keisha. I'm going to pull you on. Yes, and so I asked her to come on, and so as I was getting ready to make her flyer, a memory popped into my head, right? So her mom, and when we were in Trinidad, we were hanging out clothes. We wash clothes out in the in a wash area, and we hang them out in the line and use a bamboo stick to push up the line, so because it gets heavy, right? The clothes falls to the floor. And so I went to go push this pole up and it fell and hit my aunt on the foot, and she was pregnant. And so she was like, "Oh my gosh, now the baby's gonna have a mark on her foot." And I was like, "Is that Keisha? Was that Keisha?" So I called my aunt to ask her, and it was. She was pregnant with Keisha. So, Keisha, I don't know if you know that or not, but you were the baby. So, I want to know when you come on. I'm going to ask you if you have a mark on your feet because I have not seen her. I left Trinidad before around the time that she was born. So, I'm going to bring on my cousin. Oop, oop. Yeah. Oh my God, you wear pink too.
Pink is actually my favorite color.
That is so.
What am I going to wear? I'll be like something pink.
That's so funny. Me, you, and Victoria ended up wearing pink. We didn't even plan it. I'm telling you, that's family spiritual connection. I call that. All right. So before we go on, I don't know if you heard when I asked you, do you have a mark on your foot?
Yes, I do. I actually
No.
do. Yes, seriously. I really, really do.
That is so funny because I remember when we left Trinidad and came over here, I was trying to find out did the baby have a because I had felt so bad. I was like because it hit her hard, and so when I was making your flyer, I was like, I wonder which one of her kids was it. Like I felt like it was you, so I called her and she said it was you. I did not know you have a mark on your foot.
And she called me right after she spoke to you, and she was like, "Couldn't not call me." And she reminded me about when I was pregnant, and I had hit my foot, and she was like, "And do you have a cut on your foot?" And I was like, "Yes, I do."
Oh my God, that's so funny. But every time Free one of our other cousins see each other, we always say, "Dang, our family is so beautiful. Our family has so many different flavors.
Yes.
It's so beautiful."
Give me 1 second.
Okay. So yes. Oh my goodness. So we don't talk that often, but I asked her to come on. I wanted you to share a little bit about your experience. Like I was telling everybody, one of the reasons I asked you to come on too was in the times that we do talk, I feel the connection. It's family, and they feel that love right there. And because I see you pushing yourself, I see you pushing your business. I see you always pushing yourself. And I feel like with me too, even though things might be going on, we always find a reason to be happy. I know we get that from our grandmother. I believe the queen of our family. She's the one who installed that in me. I know that. And so I feel like she did to all of us. I want you to go ahead first and introduce yourself. I tell everybody you're coming from Trinidad. You're my first guest from Trinidad.
Hi everybody, I am Akesha. I'm Prudence baby cousin. I haven't seen her for how long? How many years now?
Probably.
I think I wasn't a baby because I remember when you all left. I haven't seen Prudence in years.
Over 20 years, we know that. Over 20 years. Yeah. It's been that long, yeah. And so you have your own salon, or you do here? Do you mobilely go to people? They come to you, or how?
No, I work in a saloon.
Okay,
I work in a saloon.
okay. And do you? And is it yours, or you work for someone else?
I work. No, I don't work for somebody. I work for myself.
Okay.
And I pay a rent for the
Yes. Okay.
station I occupy.
Okay. All right. And then so what made you want to go into here? Like what happened and
And
what?
said, well, since I was small, I was like coming here. I was like braiding here.
Yeah.
I remember I used to braid our cousins like Frida and not Sophie. Sophie never used to braid her hair, and Kemba and all of us. I used to braid everybody here like for carnival when we went to go and watch mass and to listen to soca, and it wasn't something I was wanting to do as a career because I wanted to be a designer. I remember that because I always loved drawing. I always wanted to be a fashion designer.
Mm-hmm.
But my father wanted me to be a police officer. So I was trying to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But while working for people, I realized I didn't really like it. I never felt really happy or accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't feel like it was something I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So then I asked myself, what it is I could do in my life if I'm not to work for someone. I was like, use the gift that God gave me, which was doing hair, because while doing hair, I never felt like it was hard or strenuous. I always enjoyed doing it. Seeing somebody being happy from something that I did used to make me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
So a friend of mine, he pushed me and encouraged me to start doing it and pursuing it. So I started doing people here, like going to their homes and doing it. And then I started working in saloons until I found somewhere for me, which I am right now, which is Dream Dolls Empire.
Yeah.
Look it up on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm very, very happy there. The work environment is amazing. The people I work with is amazing.
That's,
The customers and the clients are amazing.
that's so great.
I love doing hair. It
Yeah.
makes me so happy. When I call somebody here and see them smile and I ask them, they like it, and they're like, yes, I love it. That makes me so happy, and
Yeah.
I don't know why. It fills me with so much joy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna because something you just said right there, I love taking like pulls out nuggets and stuff. Was the same thing for me too. Well, for me, when I came over here, right, for so many years, I couldn't have my papers, so I had to work under the table, right? That's where you work. For those who don't know, where you work and not getting a paycheck, you work for people, and they pay you without having to take taxes out. So I would work under the table, and a lot of times I would either get cheap, not you know what I'm saying, not paid, or they would pay you less, or they would hold out your the same thing kind of happened to me too. I was like, what can I do? Because I think my mom too was always installing in us to be your own boss. I brought you here to America for you to be your own boss. You know, that's kind of thing. So I started thinking, what is it that I love to do? The thing that brought me joy like that was to being around children, and it still does. I think, but when I was younger, it was in such a different level. I love being with children. And so every child that I would watch, I would feel like, I want to see you grow up. I hope I get, and then they would go on and get another child and be like, I want to see this. I love the children like they were my own kids, you know? And I think that's something important to point out right now too. Sometimes when either if you're doing something that you love, you have to just keep moving in that direction. Like Victoria and I was just saying too, like even if you don't feel like it's working, to keep pushing in that way, because I see, you know, we've been on each other's page for so long. So I've seen that flourishing of you and that just like when you're happy. I was just telling one of my friends too, when you're happy and you feeling love, it glows and it shows on you. And so I started seeing that showing on you. And it's probably around the time you started stepping into, I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to take my own, you know, destiny into my hands. My happiness into my hands is what you did. Because you said, I want to find what makes me happy. And then you started doing that. And what makes you happy and what I love is by helping another person feel good about themselves. That's what you're doing. Yes. And that's what makes you feel good about yourself too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I noticed like people who love healing, other people helping them heal, whether it be mentally, spiritually, even physically, is because they also there's a part of them too that loves that, feeling of being healed also, or you know what I mean, like that too. So I love that. I think that's a great reminder, is to remind people to go after something that you're happy doing. So I know you have one daughter, right?
Yes, I do. I the love of my life.
I know, that's why I wanted to what's her name again?
Skyla.
Oh yes, how could I forget Skyla? So
That's my pride and joy.
yes.
I'm very, very proud of the person she is. She is such an amazing young lady.
Mm-hmm.
She is more mature than her age. I can carry on a conversation with her and don't feel like I'm talking to my daughter. I feel like I'm talking to a friend.
Yes.
I think that's the kind of relationship we have, a friendship
Yeah.
and a very good understanding.
Yeah. And I think.
I try to talk open and be as honest with her as possible.
Yeah.
And I share a lot of my experiences with her. Not because I don't want her to make the same mistakes I made. I want her to make her own mistakes and learn from them. But I want her to also look at the things that I did
Mm-hmm.
or I've been through and ask herself, is this the path I want to go down?
Yeah.
So that's why I try to tell her every single thing that's going on in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point too, people would tell me that about my kids too. It's like some things you need to keep to yourself. But at one point, I did not have. Okay, I don't want to say I don't have any friends, because I've always had friends, but I did not place myself around anybody that I could talk to on a daily basis. And I had went into hermit mode, kind of, before I started like coming out too. I went into myself. I always said I was in the part of the movie where, they go into like the forest or something and they get strong. They start working out and they start getting themselves ready to go do whatever battle. Like I went into that mode, and the only people I had around me was my daughters. And so the oldest one became like one of my best friends at the time. And at the time too, I was learning that allowing children to be their own selves, allowing them to make their own mistakes, like what you just kind of said, like teaching them, because our job as parents is not to, we think it's to protect them. And in a sense that is to protect them, but it's really to teach them to be able to be their own person out in the world. Right. And so a lot of times, parents want to dictate how that goes. But so I love that you said that you guys have that type of relationship where you allow her to be herself. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring her up.
I just want to shout out my mom.
I
Hi,
see
mommy.
my auntie. Oh yes, I just seen her.
She she Skylar, she wants to go up for Miss Universe and Miss Trinidad and Tobago, and this is not something she just decided yesterday. It's something she's been saying while she was growing up, and she also wants to be an air hostess. I think I'm saying it incorrect, because I think she told me that's not the correct way to say it anymore. And you know what she did? She went and researched what does she need to do, what does she have to accomplish in order to do those two things.
Yeah.
And she teaches herself Spanish. Well,
Wow.
swimming is something she does naturally because it's in her father's side of the family. They are swimmers. So she loves to swim, and that's one of the main things you have to be able to do as a hostess. She teaches herself Spanish, and she said when she finished, well, when the country, due to COVID, our country is basically locked down. We can't do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So she said when the country open back, she is going to be 16 in November. She want to start doing all her courses as soon as possible. And she and I sat down and we talked, and I told her, Skylar, when you reach 18, I will support you until you accomplish your goals. Once it is you stick to your goals and keep pushing forward, I will support you 100%. I will never tell you when you leave school you have to go and get a job and work. I will support you no matter what until you accomplish your goals, because you set yourself these goals and I see you pushing forward, trying to. Sorry, mommy. I'm sorry. I actually see her trying to do the stuff that she needs to do in order to become what she wants to become. So I will support her 100%.
Yeah.
Until she accomplishes what she wants to.
I think that comes too, like in our family too, with with our moms and everything, watching their experience. Like you said, we've learned from them, and I've realized too, even with my mom, have all their flaws, all of our parents' flaws, we learn from them and we try to do better. And they
Yeah.
have also looked at their parents and did that, believe it or not. So it have made me be very forgiving of my mom too, because as being a mom, I realized a lot of the things I thought my mom was either didn't like me or whatever thoughts, these thoughts I had, I realized that, especially my oldest daughter, she is the reflection. I mean, she lives a lot, so much like me. It made me realize where my mom was coming from. And a lot of times, Jai has taught me to forgive my mom because of watching, the things and remembering where I was coming from when I was doing things. And then looking back and was like, damn, my mom didn't mean that way. This is probably what she meant. And it makes me forgive my mom and then handles her differently too. So it's so cool to watch and see too how we learn through our children. Like I heard one of my teachers, my favorite teachers that I listen to, says that we think that our children came here for us to take care of them, but they really came here to teach us as we did to our parents and so forth and so forth. So I can't go without shouting out to the queen of our entire pack. Every time I post her, yes, I have to put out the queen of our pack, our grandmother, how she flowed through each one of us. Like now hearing
every one of us.
Yeah, hearing
I
you
have a
talk.
saying. She always says, Prudence, and a saying she says that always stick with me. And this to me, it fits in with a lot of things. What is the is must is. That is something I have learned to accept and I understand as I get older. If something is to happen, it is going to happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes we we should be able to not let certain things affect us negatively, because if something is to happen, it is going to happen.
Yes.
Without us being able to stop it. And that's something that Granny always said to me, that grew with me and teach me over the years, and I will always teach it to Skyla myself.
Yeah, I think if we all sat and shared like some of the things that she's taught us, a lot of times I always say my mom has taught me so much. I'm not taking away from what she's taught me, but being who I am, I learned a lot from my grandmother, because one of the things I was just gonna say that I realized then with all of us in our family too is that when we are all go-getters. You know what I'm saying? At least the majority of us are go-getters. I think that we all achieve or aspire to change our lives, and then we all went on our own journey, yet we're so connected in so many ways, even when we don't talk. So I love that. I just wanted you to come on and share a little bit about that journey. So what you're telling me too is that part of your inspiration, you found something to inspire you to keep moving, to be an example for, and that's your daughter. And I think that helps you push forward to your goals. And in doing that, you encourage her to push for your goals. I don't think you'll have to say too much. I think she'll just watch you. You don't have to say anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. And she'll see by your example, because I always say, words don't teach. And it's true. I've learned this. I say it now because I've learned it and I've heard it.
Yeah.
Words don't teach, experience does. So my mom could have told me 500 times to do something. It didn't matter. But until I see her doing something is when I picked it up too. So do you want to have your own salon too? Or what is your plans with that? What would like your ultimate goals that you're working towards?
At the present moment, not really, because as I said, I'm very happy where I am. I'm very comfortable, because I have worked around other people before, and I know I have a saying that when too much women working together, it causes a lot of drama and confusion.
Yeah.
But where I am right now, I am so comfortable and happy. It's like a sisterhood. Even though we may have little disagreements and little falling out, we always find ways to patch things up, and there's never any kind of bad feeling towards each other.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You know why too? That reminds me of, as you said it, I hear to surround yourself with people who are not in competition with you, but are there to help lift you up, because everybody hand is holding each other, lifting each other up. It's not a competition. And that makes such a big difference too. So when you find your tribe, to hold on to your tribe and appreciate it, appreciate them, and know, that that's all the little conflicts or whatever, it's like you said, to help you grow. When you find something like that, it is important, I feel like, to hold on to that and nurture that. So yeah, so I can understand that. Is there anything that every day you do that helps you stay motivated that you'd like to share? Something that you do every day that helps you stay motivated?
Something that I learned from you, and something I asked you actually to help me with, which was meditating, because at a point in time where I was feeling really out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to get very angry for no reason. Sometimes little things used to just upset me, and I used to be so upset and angry, and I didn't know why.
Yes.
I remember I talked to you and I asked you what should I do, and you told me to meditate, and you sent me music
Yeah.
to help me meditate, and it's something I listen to up to this day. And it's about
Oh,
2 years
that's
now. I
so
still
cool.
listen to it every morning after I say my prayers.
Yeah.
I put on my headset
Yes.
and I put the volume on all, and I sit down and I meditate for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and it honestly
It
really helps.
really, really does. I'm gonna tell you real quick too. Then before wrap up is when I realized that how meditation works. Because it's been 5 years that I made my mind up that is gonna be my practice as prayer. That is my form of prayer too, and I pray during meditation and some, whatever. But I was doing it. And when I first heard, everybody kept talking about meditation. Every teacher I heard, I listened to because I was feeding I was hungry. So I was listening to all these teachers and all. And everybody was like, meditation, zeal, meditate. And I was like, dang, okay, let me try this meditation thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I tried it, I remember like for 2 days, I was in such a bad health position. I couldn't even really sit down and I had to lie down and do meditation because I was out of bad, physically bad. And so I did it. And when I did, I felt pretty like good that day. I felt like, okay, nothing dramatically changed or anything like that. And so like I did it for like 3 or 4 days in a row. And my kids would notice too that I'm doing it. And so um I think I missed like 2 days. And then the next week I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my mind up and do it every day this week and see if there's a change or whatever. So I did. The next week following that, I didn't do it again. My kids said to me, they was like, Mom, did you meditate? And I was like, because I got real angry about something. They was like, did you meditate today? And I was like, what do you mean did I meditate today? It was like, because you act different when you meditate. And I started really sitting and thinking, nothing big or dramatic had changed for me. But like you said, those anger moments, there was anger, but they would go quicker than they didn't stay there and muster up. Those doubtful moments, they would come in, but they wouldn't stay there. And I realized, oh shit, it is working. It's just working on a different level. Like I thought it would come in and change my life and I'd be able to adapt all these. But I realized the peace that I was living in and that. And then I started learning that meditation was more than just even sitting there. There was different forms of meditation. So how important that is for me too. Like my day, like I was talking this morning, it's so important that like that has to be a part of my routine, no matter where in my routine. But I have a routine every morning that I do, and that is part of my routine too. So I love that you pointed out that that is also part of yours too.
Thanks to you.
Yes, well, thank you, and share it with other people because it works. And I feel like the more we're all in like this peaceful state, where who is the best meditator to me for real is Grams. Like I watch her meditate when she knits. Right? She
Yes.
goes into her
Yes.
meditation stage where she every morning she would roll her split, sit down with her knit, and she would go into the meditative state, and the wisdom and stuff that comes from the lady when she does. So I think she was my first teacher without even realizing that, realizing that that's what she was teaching me was to meditate first thing in the morning. Because she wake up, remember 4 o'clock in the morning, she's up making
early,
yeah,
before the sun even comes
yeah,
up.
yeah. Akesha, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your vibes, your love with
Thank you
me.
for having me.
Yes.
I was very nervous and excited,
Yes.
but it was easier than I thought.
Yes, I told you, those usually turn out to be the best. I get nervous every single time before I press start. I'm always like, oh my God. And then I just like get to the space and when I'm done, I'm always like, oh my God, I feel so amazing. I love doing that. And so I'm glad, that you push past your comfort zone. All right, cuz I love you. I'll talk to you soon again. Thank you.
I love
again,
you too.
okay?
Bye.
All right. Mwah. Yes, Family Friday. I called this Friday. I had my sister on. If you missed it earlier, I'll leave the video up or I'll be posting the YouTube of it. But thank you so much for sharing this moment with me. I think what I'm taking away at the end of my Family Friday is um, to pour yourself into service for others. Sometimes when you feel stuck and you don't know what to do, help somebody else feel unstuck, because it pushes that momentum and helps you get unstuck, and you're blessing somebody else. And in order for your blessings to flow, a lot of times we have to flow it out first for it to do that whole boomerang action. You guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I appreciate your, I was going to say appearance, but your vibration. I feel your love. Those who come on later, I appreciate you too. I feel it then too. If you feel like and you feel inspired to, leave a comment so the video populates and people can probably get some kind of information that they need that might inspire them. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for my family. I said this a while ago too, like, I believe that we travel in clusters and some bloodlines that we travel with, we travel in other lifetimes and other timelines with them too. And some I, maybe new, I don't know, but I know a lot of us are connected still, and we take on different forms and other, that's a whole nother conversation. And however they come in this one that you're present in, their personalities that you deal with growing up is people that you'll meet like that on the world. And our families teach us first how to be with other people in the world. And sometimes how they were, if it wasn't pleasing to you, you work on correcting that and then, doing it the right way, or what you feel is the right way. And sometimes you learn from that and you take that with you. And so tonight, I want to remind you to be appreciative of your family, the people you're surrounded with. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. I will talk to you soon. We'll see you sometime next week. Have a great weekend. I love you.